Good afternoon. This is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing, with today's closing grain and livestock comments. Well, let's get right to it. Interesting day, really good exports for soybeans. Those 8-month lows brought out the end users. Nobody from China bought anything though. There's some good exports there, which is nice to see. That finally lower prices. Sometimes the cure for lower prices is lower prices. So we'll see if we can get some more interest. We really need China to step up to the plate, though. No two ways about it. Switching over to corn. December corn finished the day down 3 3/4 cents at 407. That is a new contract low settlement. Also, we did hit 406 3/4, which is a new contract low. It took out the old low by a half cent, 407 and a half. So that's kind of where we sit. That story remains the same. Non-eventful weather, anticipated large yields, and as we move towards the August 12th USDA crop report. Spot corn, September traded as low as 386 and a half, which is an 11-month low. The next old low that the computers are looking at 377. It goes 377, then 360 3/4. That would be the contract low there on the weekly nearest basis. So hopefully we're trying to find a bottom down here in corn, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, that August 12th report holds a lot of possibilities. Um, Everybody's extremely bearish right now. Sometimes that's the setup you need going into one of those reports. Nice to see the rally though in beans, rally at least the rebound. November beans traded as low as 986, finished the day up 5 1/4 cents at 994 and a half. It sure would be nice to get north of $10. That is the big psychological over there. But today's low, if you're curious, it's the lowest price you've had since April 9th. That makes it a 4-month low. Moving over to the wheat. KC finished the day down just 3/4 cents in Dece, actually down a penny, excuse me. December, Kansas City finished down a penny at 587 and a half. We are trying to find a floor here at this 584 level. It is a contract low. December Chicago wheat traded to 533 and a half. If you've been following my letter, I talk about that we thought that 534 would be a very important level to hold. Hopefully it does. If 534 fails, that opens up the door to possibly going as low as 511. I'd say would be the next risk if we can't set a fire under the bulls here. Minneapolis, December, down 7.5 cents, 596. That was also a new low for the move. Minneapolis has been under a lot of pressure. It's hard to believe that just back on July 3rd, we were at 673. So now we've dropped, over 75 cents here, in very short order. I don't think things turn around in East Minneapolis until we trade north of 610. So if you're looking for a recovery in spring wheat, watch that 610 number carefully. And we're going to finish up with the cattle. Cattle finished the day up slightly on the day, but really a crazy day. We had almost a 6 cent trading range in October fats. We opened at 226. We had a low of 221.90. If you look at the feeders ended the day up 50 cents, but again, a wild trading day. August traded as high as 338 and change, as low as 332, so another 6 cent range. We finished the day at 335.40. I think people are looking to see if the recent high, the all-time high in August, is that going to hold? So what's that number to worry about? Basically, it's just a hair above 340, 340.625. That is probably the level that people are going to be, if you are trying to establish a new short, that's going to be your get out of jail free card. I think if we settle above 340, certainly 341, you'll see another round of short covering. But kind of a wild day there today. There is a story out on the wires and pretty much well known that this is a time of the year for a December fat cattle seasonal trade where you want to sell it. We'll see if that brings out any fresh buyers. Certainly over the past 10 months, anybody that sold cattle on a speculative basis was run over and had severe losses. So December fat cattle traded as high as almost 227 today, 226.97. Traded as low as 228.85. Finished the day at 225. Again, what level would I be watching in D-SPAC cattle? Absolutely, positively that 230 level. We did a stutter step there twice back at the end of July, and then the last 2 trading days of July. So again, are people getting short here against 230? It sure looks like it, and we'll see if that plays out. These hogs finished the day up just over a penny, 1.1 cents higher. Hanging in there pretty good. Actually, a pretty good recovery after falling. Remember, back on the middle of July, we had that flush down below 78 cents. It sure looks like if cattle keeps going, you could see one more run for these cattle, excuse me, for these hogs. I'd watch that 86 level. 86 level opens up the run for a new run at the contract high there at 88. So those are the levels we're looking at. If you are new to marketing, if you're looking for a way to get your risk on paper and stop taking all the risk in the cash market, all the risk in your pens, all the risk in the field, all the risk in the beans, you know, there are strategies out here that can help you do that. My name is Chris Robinson. Give me a call. I can help you out. 312 668 8868. Have a great rest of the day.